Hi first graders, today you will need a piece of paper and something to write with. It could be a pen, marker, pencil, anything you have nearby. We will be drawing a new shape made of other shapes that are combined. So we're going to be using a pentagon today and triangles, and you'll see what we're going to make. So to start out on your paper, go to the very middle of your paper near the top, but not at the top because we're going to need some space up here. So go down by the middle and you're going to draw a straight line across, just a short straight line across. It's okay if it's not perfectly straight. Mine's a little uneven, but that's okay. Okay, now you're going to make two straight lines coming off each side. And they're not going to go straight down, they're actually going to go out, like they swung out to the side at an angle. So we're going to do one line swinging down this way, and another line swinging down to the other side. So far we have 1, 2, 3 lines. So for a pentagon we need 5, so we need 2 more. We're going to connect both of these lines at a point down at the bottom. So we're going to connect from the edge all the way to the point, and same thing here. All right, we should have 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a pentagon. All right, now we're going to add triangles to each side. And you know that a triangle has 3 sides. So the first side has already been drawn here. This is the first side of my first triangle. I'm going to choose a point up here for where to connect my lines to. So there's 1 line, 2, and 3. There's my first triangle. Kind of looks like a person wearing a hat right now. Okay, then I'm going to go find my next line. Here's the next triangle base right here. Just like before, I'm going to go to the middle of that line. I'm going to stretch my hand out and put a dot. Okay, and then I'm going to connect both ends of my line up to the dot, like this. All right, there's another triangle. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do the same thing on the next part. So we have our straight line. We're going to come to the middle of our straight line, and we're going to stretch our hand out in a way like this to put a dot. And that's where we will bring our lines to connect. So there's our third triangle. I bet you can see what we're making now. Okay, so then right here we have another line for the bottom of our triangle, the base. Go to the middle of it, stretch your hand out, put a dot. And then, see that? And then from the base to the dot with a straight line. All right, and last one, we have our line here. Go to the middle, stretch your hand out, and put a dot. And we're going to connect these back to the triangle. Look what we made. We made a star. Mine looks kind of like a dancing star because it's like waving its arm right here. Maybe yours does too. It could also be a starfish that's kind of moving a little bit. So you could decide if you want to make it a starfish or just any kind of star. And I'm going to decorate mine now. So first, let's put our name in the bottom right corner. All right, so you start thinking about if you're going to decorate your star with patterns or if you want to put it somewhere, like in the sky, even if it's like a star that's alive, you can make it have eyes or a mouth. You can have it be smiling at you. Or if you want to make it like it's in the ocean with seashells and fish and seaweed around it. There's lots of things you could do with your star. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to decorate with some patterns. So I'll just show you what I'm doing as we go along, but you are free to choose what you'd like to do. Today I'm using colored pencils to color. If you don't have any, then you could use crayons, markers, watercolor, or just use the pencil or pen that you have to draw with. And you can decorate it that way. So I am going to have some fun with decorating my star. I am going to be doing some designs on each part of the star. I'm going to do some straight lines, some curvy lines, zigzag lines, and I'm going to make each part of the star a little different. So when someone looks at each part of the star, they'll see different things happening. Right now, I hope that you are coloring, decorating lines like I am. Maybe you turned music on in the background so you could listen to it while you're drawing. Maybe you're watching first to see what I'm doing and then you'll get your idea after. This is the time to be really creative. So you get to choose what you'd like to do. If you want to do exactly what I'm doing, that's okay too. I'll keep showing you. But if you have your own ideas already going, then go for it. Okay. Sometimes people like to do designs that are the exact same everywhere, like to make it symmetrical. So that's an option. You could make yours all the same, or sometimes people like to make them random. Like mine, they're all different, and you can decide what you like best today. Or maybe you can do one where everything's the same on all points, and then you could draw it again and do one where everything's different. So that could be fun too. Right now I'm just drawing all my designs with my pen, or if you have a pencil, you can do that. But if you want to, you could just start coloring or painting on your own. And I'd like to see what you come up with for your designs, because we all have different ideas. And I have a feeling you are going to think of some really cool ways to color this in. Okay, so I'm going to let you see this a little closer here. So you can see that. I'm going to color the whole thing on this video, and you can keep it on if you want to see the end, how mine ends up. If you want to, you can turn it off and finish on your own, and then you can show me later what you did. If you decide to keep watching, then you can just do your own coloring, but maybe you can check and see what I'm doing every once in a while, and then if it gives you any ideas, you can use those ideas. But if you're doing something totally different than mine, like let's say you're making yours in the sea, then you do that, keep doing that, and hopefully I'll get to see how yours turns out after. A little bit better view back here. Okay, hopefully you've been thinking about math while you're working on this at home, and a lot of things you can draw are made up of other shapes. So if you look around your own house or your own yard, you might be able to find some things you can draw that are, when you look at the outline, there are a lot of different shapes, but if you look inside it, you can break it down into little parts to see what shapes make it up. Right now I'm thinking about my pencil sharpener can over here. It has a circle at the top. So if I was going to draw that, I could do a circle at the top. Maybe it's a squished circle. And then I could do some straight lines coming down like a little rectangle for the bottom part. Or if you think about the shape of your colored pencil, or pencil, if you're using that, you've got a triangle on top and then a rectangle coming down. So shapes are everywhere, and you can find those if you look around your home and out the window. If you go somewhere in the car, you can look out and see what shapes you see out there. And I hope you're having fun coloring. It's a really nice way to relax when you have some extra time. You can get out a piece of paper and draw. Another fun thing you could do is you could take, if you had some Play-Doh at home, or if you made some, you could take that Play-Doh and try to make the things I'm showing you in these videos with Play-Doh. So you could try to sculpt it. So instead of drawing your pentagon in the middle, you could make it out of Play-Doh. That would be pretty fun to see. You could send me a picture of that too if you decided to do that. I love seeing the different colors next to each other. I love seeing how it looks when you put yellow and then a lighter green and then red. I like to see how putting different colors next to each other makes them stand out more or look a little different than they did in another spot on the page. You can be experimenting to see what colors look good next to each other, or what kind of color patterns are your favorite. This is a good way to experiment with that, to try to find out what colors you like. Maybe you can also use a color that you don't usually use. So if you always like to use red and black, then maybe you could try using green more, or light blue. Or if you always like to use pink, then maybe you will try to use some dark blue or orange, just to mix things up and give you a chance to explore more colors. Some of you might want to do a rainbow pattern across. Some people like to do the colors in order of a rainbow. So you could do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, if that's something you want to do. You could, maybe it would be fun also to make your own pattern and repeat that pattern. So like, for example, you would always go blue, orange, red, yellow. Blue, orange, red, yellow. If you're doing a pattern like mine. You could do something like that if you wanted. Or let's say that you only have one color that you're using at your house, or two colors. So then what you can do is make white one of your colors. You can go back and forth with white and black and your other color, or gray if you're using a pencil. So there's lots of ways to do this at home. I'm giving you lots of coloring ideas. Another coloring idea you could do is you could choose something that's real but that isn't a star. Like, let's say a watermelon. And you could think of what colors are on a watermelon and then just use those colors on your star. So you could be having red, green, and black. Or maybe you could choose spring colors, or if you're celebrating a holiday that has colors with it, you could choose those colors. Remember, if you are coloring and you start to get tired, and your hand is tired or your brain is tired of doing the same thing, you can take a break. You can go get up, walk around. You could go do something outside or in another room for a little while, and then you can come back. You could take a 2-minute break, just a short break, or you could take a 20-minute break or a 2-hour break and then come back. And you could even take a break for a whole day or a few days, and then you could come back and finish drawing your picture and coloring in your art. So there's lots of ways you can break this up for yourself at home so you don't get too tired or bored. You can keep coming back and finishing later. That's one thing that I like about art. It's kind of like a movie. You can be watching it, you can pause it, and come back later, and it's still there, ready for you. Sometimes you might even get new ideas if you walk away from it and come back later. So if you need to, pause the video and walk away and come back. I'll still be here. Okay, I'm getting closer to finishing up the points on my star. I wonder how yours is going. Hopefully it's going well. Okay. Light blue. It's fun how we could all draw the same thing, but when we color our pictures, they can turn out so differently. Okay, and then use some purple here. The more I color in on mine, the more I like it. I like how it has a lot of colors all together. I decided to do all different colors together today just to kind of show a happy explosion of colors. But I would like to see it if you did one that's maybe just using 2 colors, or maybe that's using more of a pattern than mine. And it would be lots of fun to see if you put your star in another setting, like a sky or on a beach or the ocean. Maybe you made it into like a star person. That would be cool. Okay, it's coming along. If you are using colors in a pattern, that's great. If you want to use colors in order, like we talked about with the rainbow, that's an awesome way to do it too, because then it goes from warm to cool, and it just looks nice. It looks like it all flows together. But if you're not doing that, if you're doing random colors like me, choosing just all different colors, then one thing I like to do when I'm doing that is I try to think of, after I use one color, I put it down and I try to pick up another color that is maybe the complete opposite of that color. So, for example, I did blue, a light blue, so then I did a bright yellow next. Because blue is a very cool color, and it was a light blue, soft blue. Yellow was very bright next to it. And then maybe this time I chose a purple next to the yellow. So that color is on the other side of the color wheel from yellow. And then maybe I'll go back to orange, which is closer to yellow. So I'm trying to mix mine up with some opposite colors next to each other, so everything just kind of pops out and it doesn't look all smooth, but rather it looks all jumbled and exciting and fun. That's what kind of star I'm doing right now. That's the kind of mood I want to set with mine. And maybe some of you, maybe you're doing one that has all the same colors around, and then there's just one spot that's a different color as a surprise. So that's kind of fun. You get to decide how you want to do that. All right, let's see. Getting close to the middle here. I'd like to talk about the background when I get done with this star, because I don't want to leave the background blank. We've spent so much time working on the inside of the star. I really want to make sure the outside of the star gets some drawing on it too. And especially for you, if you drew your star as a starfish or a star in the night sky, then of course you're going to want to draw that part around your star. Make it look like that. If you didn't put your star in a specific place, like the beach or the sky, then you get to decide, kind of like mine, how I did it, all just different colors as a design. So then I get to decide what I want to do in the background, and it can be anything. So I think for me, I'm going to go ahead and draw some more stars tumbling around in the background just for fun. I like the idea of the dancing stars. I like how my first star turned out to have that arm that was lifted up, and so it made me think of imagining a bunch of stars out in space that are colorful and moving around. you would like to draw more stars in the background, then you can do it a few different ways. So one way you can do it is the way we did this one with the pentagon and the 5 triangles. Another way is to draw like an A, the beginning of an A, then from the bottom, cross over to the side. So once you cross the side, then go across and connect. And then you can color it in. That's one way you can draw more 5-pointed stars for the sky. Okay, another way you can do it is just to take your pencil and just draw 5 zigzags around a circle. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one takes some practice too, but you can do it that way as well. So I hope you're having fun drawing your background. Now I'm going to just take some fun lines, some swirly lines here to go through my space. You can get some different patterns coming around. I like using all these different colors. So fun. Alright, I have a bunch of swirly lines now. So this is looking very just like dreamy and imaginative. And then I'm going to finish off by taking some light colors of my colored pencils and just shading in the white space in the back. I have a little pencil sharpener here I've got to use really quick. This one's getting a little too dull. Okay, I just have this little metal pencil sharpener. That's kind of nice. So remember to put your paper on another paper or a board or something you can draw on and go off the edges when you do this. If you do this, we want to be able to color all the way to the edge of our paper, but we don't want to get it on the table behind us. Let me get some different colors back here. Getting this all colored in will help our art look finished. If you're using a colored pencil, you could turn it on its side like I am to help you cover a large area of space in a quick amount of time. If you're using markers, the same thing, you can turn it on its side to get it colored in a little more quickly than using the point, the tip. And if you are using crayons and you want to take the wrapper off, if that's okay, then you can turn the crayon on its side and rub it like that. Same thing with pastels. If you're using some kind of oil or chalk pastel to color, remember you can rub it on its side. And if you are painting, then you are in luck because you can quickly cover the whole area. Get this one sharpened too. Okay, make sure I don't go on top of my star here that's yellow. All right. getting really close to finishing here, and then I'll show you how mine turned out. And we can see yours if you send it in. I can see it. That would be awesome. Send in a picture. All these changing colors. And like I said, it's fun to see how the purple looks next to these colors, or how the looks next to these colors, or the green. So I like sometimes to mix up all the colors around the page just to see how they all look together. This looks like a party to me. Okay. All right. I am finished. So here is my star. Remember how we made this with a pentagon in the middle and the triangles on the outside? So we combined shapes to make a new shape, which is a star. I hope you had fun today, and I hope that when you finish you can hang this up in your home. You can take a picture and send it to me if you want, and just keep making other drawings of other things using your shapes. And we'll see you next time. Bye!